Next piece, again, one of these next big changes is starting to think about the crease once the ball's getting into that offensive or defensive end, or when the ball's getting into the crease. We used to have the cylinder. Under our old rules, the cylinder is gone, but we have some lots of changes that are coming around the crease. So let's talk a bit about how the changes it'll look just in the ball's bouncing in the crease, and that suddenly that's a live ball now where it wasn't before.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And I think you're right. It's a great place to start. Is kind of where is the ball? What's it doing? In previous years, there was a lot of restrictions with the cylinder and what we could do. Now, with the removal of a cylinder, we've got a loose ball bouncing around. Everybody can now play that ball, whether it be the goalie who is going to scoop it up, trap it, block it, make a save, a defensive player who can come into the crease and scoop it up. But now the offensive players are able to reach into the crease and physically gain possession of the ball. So, attacking player sees a loose ball bouncing around, they can reach in, gain possession. So, we're looking at the ability of to be able to pass, cradle, shoot in those motions. So we've kind of really looking at is the ball in the stick? Is it in the pocket? Does that player have good control, good possession of the ball? Um, if they do, they're fair game to reach in and grab that and scoop it. They can then shoot on the net. They can pull it out, reset their offensive play, really be very creative within that play. I think it opens up a lot of opportunity for crease individuals, crease players, to be able to look for those quick rebounds instead of completely retreating. They can now look to continue their offensive set. I think there's great opportunity for that. Um, Continue to play, get another 30-second shot clock if that may be, if it's a shot, but they can now go and continue that offensive play versus just completely bailing out, um, which is going to make it very creative and interesting for defensive players. Um, Goalies are going to look to trap that ball very quickly to gain possession. Defensive players are able to now drag the ball back into the crease or scoop it up. Biggest difference once that defensive team does have possession of the ball, they will only have 4 seconds. So past years it was greater than that. Now we're looking at 4 seconds from the time they have possession till the time they get it out of the crease. KJ, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of coaching or some offensive tips maybe for some newer players to this rules.
Yeah, so I think offensively, we're always trying to get over the top to the middle of the floor. But with that crease opening up, that down the alley or outside lane becomes a lot more of a viable option to attack the net. And then also the play from behind the net. There's a lot more options there that opens up the creativity of these players, and you see it a lot in the leagues that already have these rules. Some very pretty goals are scored from back there. I think more so it's defensively that coaches need to be mindful of. Historically in our sport, when the ball's in your crease, you have a second for some active rests where you can kind of like sit on your heels and survey because you know they can't get the ball. So that's going to be the instinct of a lot of players, and it's about correcting that early because that ball is live, and a smart offensive player will take advantage of that if it's just sitting there.
I'll also add, John, like just to give the basic example of it when you're coaching or a player, the crease is the ground now. So like it's just literally the ground, the post, and the goalie. And so it's not your stick touching it anymore. It's got to be your part of your body. So feet, hands laying on it, any piece like that is one of the biggest differences from before. So before it was like vertically, as you said, the cylinder all the way up with your feet crossing the line at any point. Now reaching in with your stick, as Scott and KJ talked about, is totally legal. Stick touching the ground is legal as well. Like that's not illegal. It's got to be a body part from that perspective in terms of those kind of pieces in moving forward, which does make a huge difference in terms. And then Scott had mentioned it, and KJ talked about it a little bit. The biggest difference of the back in and having goalies used to be the only ones who could reach out and bring it back in, and now a player can do that as a different option for defenders and something that weren't able to do before, but it does support the defense and trying to cradle the ball, getting back possession, and then also offense is active down there as well.
Yeah, great point. And I just want to mention this is for the U11 all the way up. So some of our rules are jumping between for different age groups, but this one is for basically all of our age groups from U11 up. So this is a great one that will kind of hit for everybody.